Mike Moore Media.
I have a very special guest on the line, Marcia McQueen, pastor of spiritual formation at First Baptist Church in Madison, North Carolina. Marcia, how are you?
I'm doing well today, thank you.
Well, it's good to have you on the line, and I know you have an update on several things to share with us from the church family there at First Baptist in Madison. So please do that.
Thank you. First of all, you might wonder why Pastor Dr. Chuck McGaffey is not in this spot today. Some of you might know, and many might not, because there was not a printed obituary, that Pastor Chuck's wife, Dawn, died last week of a cerebral hemorrhage. He is, of course, in deep grief and will need time to begin his grief work and regain some sense of equilibrium, as do all grieving people. So, Associate Pastor Reverend Jan Walsh and I are pinch hitting for Chuck. Pray for Pastor Chuck, his family, and us, his church family, as his grief continues. Dawn was mother of 9 children and Chuck father of 2, so he has been blessed to have 9 of the 11 visit for support and a private celebration of Dawn's life and legacy. As most all of you know too well, our grieving rituals have changed during the COVID crisis, so a public ceremony was not held. Pastor Chuck began, even last Sunday, to memorialize Dawn and will continue occasionally as he also speaks of the struggles we all face in this life on his weekly broadcast. One of the things we at First Baptist Madison want to convey to you today is that because we love and care for you, both your spirits and your physical health, we remain physically distanced. In this time, however, we've found numerous ways to continue being church and even expand and modify some of those ways. The most consistent is our Sunday morning worship broadcast on WLOE WMYN radio. If you have difficulty reaching the radio station, Rockingham County Radio app is a convenient way to access it. Download that app and listen, if you prefer that, to the AM radio. For over 60 years, our church has provided live streaming of the 11 o'clock worship service. However, since mid-March, the format has changed, as have many things in our lives. Dr. McGaffey now comes to the radio station for a live broadcast, which includes announcements, pre-recorded choir anthems or other music, the Sunday sermon, and Bible study. Beginning last week, the format again changed slightly, and for the short haul will be pre-recorded. Last week, Chuck was able to pre-record the whole service because he had already prepared most of the content before Dawn died. But this week will be a bit different again. For a few weeks, Chuck will be moderating, but Jan and I will be providing the sermon and the Bible study. So stay with us till Chuck is back. Remember, we are still here and on the air for you. We're still church. We want to minister not only to our congregants, but also to our community, especially at this time when you might choose to stay safe at home. We hope you're finding this time of the ongoing COVID-19 crisis as a time for some quiet, some pause, for learning and growth despite the many challenges of this time. Now, in addition to our Sunday morning sermon, we are providing the spoken Bible study from the Nurturing Faith Journal. It's also available to you from our website or as a hard copy that's available outside our church office in a plastic purple box. So any hour of the day, you could get a copy of the Nurturing Faith Journal. In case you don't know, our physical building is at 110 Franklin Street, which is directly across the street from the Dollar General in Madison. And if you have not heard it before, our website, all lowercase, is www.firstbaptistchurchofmadison.org. On the home page there, you can find links to this online journal, Nurturing Faith, for which we give you the password to access that online. For the remainder of office, that password is WORLD, WORLD. Any other time, of course, just go to the website and the password will be updated for you. Also on that page, there's a link to our public Facebook page, which, of course, is accessible to anyone, not just those of you with Facebook accounts. On Facebook, we have upped our contributions, and typically on a Monday, you can find a contribution called Just a Thought or Two by Reverend Jan Walsh. A Tuesday musical meditation, usually by our own music director James Scruggs and organist-pianist Sylvia Perkins. On Thursday, the usual submission is A Word from Chuck by a YouTube video. And Saturday, I provide a spiritual reflection. Also on our website, in case you miss the actual radio broadcast at 11 on Sunday morning, or if you want to listen again, there's a link to Dr. McGaffey's podcast titled Nothing But Grace. All of his sermons since late March are available for your hearing. We are looking forward to meeting in person again sometime. We're preparing our facilities for that time. We're doing so by anticipating an abbreviated service. We've installed automatic hand sanitizing stations and automatic soap dispensers and paper towel dispensers. We will be providing masks and designating seating to provide safe distancing as recommended. As I said, we do look forward to that day, but for now we continue to try to show our love and care by safely protecting one another in all the ways that we know are beneficial. This time has called us to learn some new technical skills. We've made more phone calls to our church friends and sent more cards and letters and emails and Facebook messages. We've become much more intentional about maintaining our connections with the fellowship of our friends and believers. I know of one, and I think maybe two of our Sunday school classes have met following safety guidelines. The class I attend has about 8 members, and we met for a while at the park, safely masked and distanced, to stay in touch and to discuss our weekly lessons. When it got pretty hot a few weeks ago, we stopped that, but we probably will resume again. Our deacons have met by free conference calling 2 or 3 times. So we are finding a way to stay connected. In addition to staying connected to one another, we continue to be aware of unemployment, food scarcity, homelessness, and substance abuse recovery issues. We continue to collect items for Hands of God, and along with the purple plastic box with the Nurturing Faith Journal, outside the church office, it is a container for collecting items for Hands of God if you wish to participate. Most any staple food item or paper product is welcomed by this ministry in Madison. The weekly Get Sane at the Mad Bean Bible study and the in-person meetings of Grief Share and Alcoholics Anonymous have been curtailed temporarily, but the relationships and connections continue. You know, the only safe way we can hug now is hugging with our hearts through prayer. We are praying for one another, those thousands in our world who are experiencing the death of loved ones due to COVID and other causes, who cannot be companioned in their grief in their usual way. We pray for all folks involved in schools as education takes on new and varied forms, with new risks and fears and regulations. We pray concerning racial unrest and political turmoil. We have much to process and much to compel us to pray. We're here and want you to know we love and care about you. Contact us as you wish or as you need to. The phone number is 336-548-6112. Remember that our website is www.firstbaptistchurchofmadison.org, and it has our phone number, email address, and, as I've already mentioned, links to the Nothing But Grace podcast, the Nurturing Faith Journal, and our Facebook page. We hope these benefit you, and we'd love to hear from you.
Marcia, this has been so nice to get this update from you about First Baptist in Madison, keeping connected in so many other ways during these difficult times. And I like what you said about we're hugging with our hearts through prayer. That is so nice. And of course, our sympathy to Chuck and his family at this time as well.
I thank you for the opportunity to familiarize the audience with us a bit more in depth.
Well, you mentioned early on about that radio broadcast. It's been going on for 60 years, and we certainly appreciate that continuing and reaching out that way as well. And Marcia, thank you, and your church family and the friends there are so special, and I appreciate your time in sharing this with us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice to have a conversation with Marcia McQueen, pastor of spiritual formation at First Baptist Church in Madison, North Carolina. Again, I direct you to the website, firstbaptistchurchofmadison.org, and then their Facebook page, First Baptist Church of Madison, NC, version 2020. And yes, that radio broadcast on 1420 WMYN, 1490 WLOE, good way to keep in touch that way on Sunday mornings, and soon on FM at 92.5 and 97.5.